Alright guys, here we are. We made it into the woods. It's looking pretty good so far. The only thing is, as you can see, the ground's real wet. It's been raining the last couple days. So I'm going to try to stay on the path so I don't get my pants soaked from all this grass. That stuff will soak your pants. First thing we're going to start out by is looking for water. So if you look around, got a hill up there. We got some low ground down there. I can see from here that there's a swamp, but that's not good drinking water. So we're gonna kind of go down that way and see if we can find anything. I just kind of walked by the swamp a little bit, and it looks like there's a pretty good sized lake in the middle of it. But you don't want to try to go near there unless you absolutely have to, because there's a lot of spots where your feet can fall in, lose your footing. Even though it looks like it's land, it might be water. Just because there's cattails growing out of it doesn't necessarily mean it's dry land. So to get to the lake in the middle of the swamp might take a lot of work. It might be pretty risky. It's only October and it's already pretty cold out here. I wouldn't want to get soaking wet right now. So we're going to try to stay away from that swamp as much as possible. Seems to be we're in a clearing right now. Trying to think of where we could find water at. I think I see an opening over there in the trees. All the way back there, there seems to be a circle of trees with nothing in the middle. There might be water over there. Let's go have a look. As I'm walking around the swamp again, I found this clearing. Looks like it's man-made, but what I want to stress the fact is it looks like we can get the water from here pretty easily. So I'm just gonna go check it out. I don't know what this is. I don't know why in the middle of the woods they'd cut it all down like this. It's kind of weird. But alright, here we come to the water. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Alright, this water looks alright. But the good water's over there. I wouldn't want to mess with this water. I really don't know why they came back here with tractors and tore all this up. See all this stuff right here? Where I'm walking, this isn't necessarily dry land. If you lose your footing, that's real deep in there. You could fall in. You can't really make it to that water over there without walking through that stuff. And I wouldn't recommend walking through that because you're not going to make it dry. You're going to fall in. It's just not a great idea. I mean, this is water. Water is water. So I mean, you're in pretty good shape already that you found this. Let's go see what else we can find. I made it to that water that I was originally after. Something to think about here. Best place to get the water would be that shore over there. This water's pretty small, but it would be good for drinking. You're gonna have to boil it, of course. But this would also be a good place to set up a little camp because all around you there's woods. You don't want to be out in the middle of a field. There's too much wind, too much elements. You're easily spotted by people. You don't want to make yourself a target in a bad situation because people might be out here with less than you have and they're going to want to take what you got. So you're going to want to kind of hide yourself. Shut this off and we'll go in the woods. We'll look around a little bit. I walked around in the woods a little bit and I didn't really see anything that caught my eye. These woods aren't very dense, but you could still set up a camp back here. But coming back to this little body of water I found, I'm starting to think that it might not be that suitable because just thinking about it, it's probably a wet season lake, and as soon as it gets dry out, I'm sure this thing dries up. I mean, there's don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's logs in the middle of it. It's not that deep. You can see logs all the way in the middle of the lake. There's tree stumps. I'm gonna have to guess that this dries out in the summer. So this, you're probably better off with that swamp I found earlier. I mean, this swamp is actually worse. So we're gonna want to stay away from this. We're gonna try to find something else. This isn't exactly a good place to be. I think I'm gonna circle around up that way just to kind of see what's up there. It's up a hill, so I doubt there's water. But we're just gonna make a circle up that way, see what we find. There's a lot of stuff that you can find in these woods, whether it be water or shelter. I'm sure we'll find something up there. Right now I'm in the middle of a pretty interesting field. Everything's soaking wet out here, but this stuff is pretty dry. All this grass and everything, so if you gotta make a fire tonight, I suggest coming here and harvesting this stuff. It seems to stay pretty dry. I don't know if the sun dried it or what, but it's been raining for like a week straight. Seem to have found some other interesting stuff up here too. That's pretty useful. Video game chair. What else do we got up here? Use that to make some kind of shelter. A lot of good stuff up here, guys. But you never know what you're going to find in the woods, because kids come and build forts and they leave stuff behind. Another chair for your buddy. It's a pretty good haul right here. So remember this place, come back to it. This is where I was heading. Looking pretty good so far. The forest is real thick. Something you want to look for, some real thick forest. Get yourself set up in there. No one's going to be able to see you, no matter how big of a fire you have. It's a good sign. I'll take a look in here, see what I find.
Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We live in this till the day that we die. Survival of the fit.